Welcome to our unit on early Asian civilizations. Today we're on lesson 10 where we're going to be talking about the story, the magic paintbrush. Before we get started, wow, we have a full list of vocab words to go through. Pretty soon we're going to see a couple of our vocabulary words disappear here. But let's go through our vocabulary words really quick. I'll read the word. You repeat it after me. Fertile, source, represent, unjust, resembles, custom, conquer, sorrow, durable. Which word on this would mean a symbol that shows something else? So, like the stars on our flag. What word would we say would show something else? That would be that word represent. Which word means the beginning of something or the start of something? That would be source. And then remember, fertile means the soil that's good for growing things. Again, remember we're away from India. We're in China, and here's a map of China broken up into its different states or districts. Remember up on top here, we don't see it in this map, but that's where the Yellow River and then the Yangtze River to the south there. Today we're going to be talking about a folktale. Remember, a folktale is a fictional story passed on for a long time, and lots of times this story teaches a lesson. What other folktale did we hear about from ancient India? Yeah, remember that was the tiger, the Brahmin, and the jackal, and that was that fiction story. After you read today, you should be able to explain the elements of a folktale, so how it's of the magic paintbrush, different little elements of that, characters, plot, setting, and show the understanding of the word praise. So listen carefully to the magic paintbrush and to find out how the paintbrush is magical. Once upon a time, long ago, in the land of China, there lived a poor boy named Mo Ling. To help earn money for his family, Mo Ling gathered bundles of firewood to sell. But what he really wanted to do, more than anything else in the world, was paint. Mo Ling was so poor, however, that he could not even buy a single paintbrush. What is the setting of this story? One day, as Mo Ling passed by the village school, he saw the children busily painting pictures. "Please, sir," said Mo Ling to the teacher, "I would like to paint, but I have no paintbrush. Will you loan me one?" Do you think the teacher will loan him a paintbrush? "What?" cried the teacher. You are only a little boy who sells firewood. Go away." Wow. Do you think the teacher should have reacted that way? "I may be poor," said Mo Ling, "but I will learn to paint." The next time he went to gather firewood, Mo Ling used a twig to draw a bird on the ground. When he came to a stream, he dipped his hand in the water and used his wet fingers to draw a fish on the rocks. That night, he used a piece of burned wood to draw animals and flowers. Every day, Mo Ling found time to make more pictures. People began to notice. "How lifelike the boy's pictures look," they said. "That bird he has drawn looks as though it's ready to fly away. You can almost hear it sing." Do people think Mo Ling's pictures are good? How do you know? Mo Ling enjoyed hearing the people's praise or compliments. But still, he thought, if only I had a paintbrush. Do you think Mo Ling will ever get a chance to get a paint with a paintbrush? One night, after Mo Ling had worked hard all day, he fell into a deep sleep. In a dream, he saw an old man with a long white beard and a kind face. The old man held something in his hand. "Take this," he said to Mo Ling. "It is a magic paintbrush. Use it with care." When Mo Ling awoke, he found his fingers wrapped around a paintbrush. Am I still dreaming? He wondered. Quickly, he got up and painted a bird. The picture flapped its wings and flew away. He painted a deer. As soon as he had put the last spot on the animal's coat, it brushed its nose against Mo Ling, then ran into the woods. "It is a magic brush," said Mo Ling. He ran to where his friends lived. He painted toys for the children. He painted cows and tools for the farmers. He painted bowls full of delicious food for everyone. If Mo Ling uses his magic paint, is Mo Ling using his magic paintbrush with kindness? No good thing can remain a secret forever. Soon, news of Mo Ling and the magic paintbrush reached the ears of the greedy emperor. A greedy person is someone who wants more than they need. What do you think the greedy emperor will do? "Bring me that boy and his brush," the emperor commanded. The soldiers found Mo Ling and brought him back to the palace. With a scowl or an anger of disapproval, the emperor looked at Mo Ling. "Paint me a dragon," he yelled. Mo Ling began to paint, but instead of painting a lucky dragon, he painted a slimy toad that hopped right on the emperor's head. "Disobedient boy," said the emperor. "You will regret that." He grabbed the magic paintbrush and ordered the soldiers to throw Mo Ling in jail. Then the emperor called for his royal painter. "Take this brush and paint me a mountain of gold," he commanded. But when the royal painter finished with the picture, all the gold turned into rocks. Why do you think the royal painter's mountain of gold turned into rocks? "So," said the emperor, "this brush will only work for the boy. Bring him to me." Mo Ling was brought to the emperor. "If you will paint for me," said the emperor, "I will give you gold and silver and fine clothes, a new house, and all the food and drink you want." Would you paint for the emperor if he offered all of those things to you? Mo Ling pretended to agree. "What do you want me to paint?" he asked. "Paint me a tree that has gold coins for leaves," said the emperor, with greed in his eyes. Mo Ling took the magic paintbrush, and began to paint. He painted many blue waves, and soon the emperor saw an ocean before him. "That is not what I told you to paint," he barked. But Mo Ling just kept painting. In the ocean, he painted an island, and on the island, he painted a tree with gold coins for leaves. Yes, that's more like it," said the emperor. "Now quickly, paint me a boat so that I can get to the island." Mo Ling painted a big sailboat. The emperor went on board with many of his highest officials. Mo Ling painted a few lines, and a gentle breeze began to blow. The sailboat moved slowly toward the island. "Faster, faster!" shouted the emperor. Mo Ling painted a big curving stroke, and a strong wind began to blow. "That's enough wind!" shouted the emperor, but Mo Ling kept painting. He painted a storm, and the waves got higher and higher, tossing the sailboat like a little cork on the water. Then the waves broke the boat to pieces. The emperor and his officials were washed up on the shore of the island, with no way of getting back to the palace. And as for Mo Ling, people say that for many years he went from village to village, using his paintbrush to help others wherever he wanted, wherever he went. So, is this folk tale fiction or nonfiction? How do you know? Tell me the two main characters in this story and describe them using details. What was the plot of this story? Remember, plot means the main events that happened. Was Mo Ling justified in putting the emperor and his officials on an island? Was it fair or just for him to do that? What do you think? Why or why not? So in this story, we heard the word praise. Repeat that word with me, praise. What sound are the vowels AI saying in this word? Yeah, AI together make the A sound. Let's say the blend pr together 3 times. Pr, 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 praise. What do you think this word means? So praise means congratulations or admiration. I want to show you really quick. Whenever you go to like a show, and there's people acting in the show, afterwards they all come on up and you clap for them. You give them praise, and this is what that kind of looks like. So you can see at the end of that show, the people are giving them praise, admiration, because they did such a good job performing their show. Juliana received much praise for the story she wrote in school. Have you ever given or received praise? So we'll be moving on and talking more about the ancient Chinese and some different goods that they would trade and stuff in our next read aloud. Hope you enjoyed this one.